Hi ladies and gents, this is Felicia with another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to do a tip blend and to add a nail into the finger. I know a lot of people have a hard time getting the nails to stay. I don't reuse the fingers. I put the nail in there, secure it, and I do what I need to do, acrylic, whatnot. I'm going to show you how to do the tip blend with the file and also with the drill. So we're gonna do the one with the file first. First, I used to use super glue. So what I do is I use a number 3 to start off, a number 3 tip. You get it from any nail supply or store that sells nail tips, and I lay it out. So for this test, we're gonna use 2 to start off because we're gonna do one of each. And then I finish it with a number 4 because you're going to cut the number 3 tip and you're going to shape it a little bit to add another tip on to make a full nail. Aha. Some people don't do it like that, but you can do it like that. Okay, you need a fingernail clipper. You're going to need 2 number 3 nail tips. And you're going to need 2 fingers because we're going to do one of each. One with the file, one with the drill. I tend to use a little pink powder and I put it inside the nail tip and I secure it in there and it doesn't come out. So that's what we're going to do. So I got my brush. It's already been prepped and cleaned and we're going to start. Okay, so I take the tip. I take a little acrylic liquid, tad bit. I get a little ball. That one didn't come out. I pick up a ball about that size and I put it inside the tip and I kind of push it in there. I wipe because I don't want the acrylic to stay in my brush, and then I pat it. If it looks too thin, you can always add another ball. And I pick up another one and put it on top. Because what the acrylic is going to do is going to dry inside the nail. So I turn the tip over and then I place it in there. And I give it a few minutes and it's going to dry in there, and then we can start with that one. So we're going to finish the process with the next nail. You dip your brush and you pick up a ball and you place it inside the nail tip and you blend it. Get the excess off, and then you pick up another ball. You want to make sure that you have enough acrylic inside the tip to where it can hold, because if it's not, it's going to come loose when you start filing it. So we want to make sure we get all the excess off, and we're going to secure it inside the nail, and we're going to give it a chance to dry. Now while you're waiting for those to dry, here I have some that's already prepared. As you can see, hasn't been blended yet. So let me kind of zoom in, excuse me, so that you can see. Okay, as you see, it's not blended. But when you're doing it with a file, you take it and you go across the curve. You don't file all down at the bottom. You blend at the curve. I tend to take my file and I go like this. Sometimes you're going to file the bottom, but your goal is to blend the tip across, and you're doing it with the file. Excuse me. You're doing it with the file. So let me just zoom back out. Okay. And so you basically, as you can see, you're going to go across the nail bed, the nail tip, and you're just going to go across it until it's blended, because you don't want to blend too much. You just want to blend it enough to where it's going to not have the pokey look, and it's going to also have that kind of curve but not curvy look. So you're going to, and once you do your tip blend and it's decent enough for you, then you dust it. Now I could cut the light on. I don't know how bright that's gonna be. It's kind of bright, so I don't know if you can see. So I'm gonna cut it back off because I can't really see. I want y'all to be able to see. Okay, so what you can do now that this nail is blended, you can now clip it to make your shape. I like coughing a lot. I'm working on stiletto, so that's what we can do today. And so we're going to file it, form it. I count how many times I file to get to the tip, because if you do it 6 times on one side and 3 times on the other, your tip is not going to come out shaped the way that you want it. And you always want to make sure that you're getting the shape that you want. Now, there are different ways that you can do stiletto. A lot of people think stiletto is just pointy cat nails, but some people do work. They do cashier. So sometimes I tend to ask them, do they want a coffin for their their index finger, because a lot of people, they peck. And so that's what I would do. I will offer them that option. Okay, so as you can see, the nail is being shaped. And so once you got your nail shape and it's blended and it looks like you're ready to go, then you just file the shine, not just get the shine off there. And that nail is prepped to go. Now we're going to check out the ones that we just done. As you see, it's hard, but we're going to blend this one. So I'm going to show you how I blend this one. I clip it kind of short, but not too short, because you don't want to go too far down into the tip. And as you can see, it looks like a natural tip. Agree? Okay, so then I just take the file. I go across it lightly, not rough. And I do the sides a little bit to bring them in, because your tip has to fit. If your tip do not fit from side to side, or if it looks like piece of it is hanging out, or that means that it's too small, or it could be too big. So you just want to make sure that the tip fit sidewall to sidewall. Now, normally when I do these fingers and I cut them and I file them, sometimes the tip seems like it's not right, but I file it and to make it the way I want it to be. So what I do is, before I put the next tip on, I kind of rough up the top just a little bit so that the glue can secure. I rough it up a little bit and I dust it, because you don't want no debris on there. This is a brand new glue. I bought a lot of stuff from the nail supply, so they always give you big 10 packs of glue. So I have a lot of glue. Okay, so we're going to get our number 4 nail out. I keep practice tips. I also have tips for clients, but I do buy tips like these to practice with. Okay, and so we're going to fit it. As you can see, this is what it looks like. And so what you're going to do is you're going to place the tip on there, and you're going to make sure that the tip fits, and it does. So what we're going to do is, you take the tip, you take your glue, which is this fresh glue we just opened, and you just basically go across the tip with some glue. You don't want to put too much glue, because glue can tend to run and go down the nail, and then it can stick to your finger, and then have a hard time getting it off. And so you just want to hold that tip to that nail for a few seconds. Some nail glue adheres fast, some don't. So you just have to be mindful. And voila, it's on. So we're going to let it dry just for a few seconds. And then we're going to shape that nail. Now, this is the nail that we done earlier with the file. As you can see, it's almost like a coffin shape. So this will be used when I show you how to do the basic balls for acrylic. Okay, so we're going to pick this one back up. We're going to shape it. I want a little bit shorter. I'm going to file this kind of square. I file straight up and down for square because square can lose its shape real easy. If you're going to apply acrylic to these, then you don't want to file a perfect shape just yet. You want to file it somewhat, because if you file a perfect shape and you try to put the acrylic on and the balls don't fall right, then you're going to lose that shape and you're going to find yourself doing a lot of filing. So I file straight across, file straight, go down, straight across, or I do like that. So we're going to file it. And we don't want it too wide. A lot of times, a lot of square nails, they come out wide. And people wonder why they're too wide. You have to bring it in. Just because a person has fat fingers doesn't mean that their nails has to look fat. You can still give them the illusion that the nail is slim. So you just bring it in, hold it straight up to you. You look at it and you just hold your nail file straight up and down, and you file and go straight across. Okay, now when you're doing it with the drill, I already have a sanding bit, which this is a fine sanding bit. I didn't use the medium because I use medium for acrylic applications. So you're going to cut your drill on just a tad bit. I have a Manny Pro, so this is a low speed, if you can hear it. And I'm going to gradually go across the nail. With the drill, it's more easier, it's less work. But I like doing it with the file too, because some people are very afraid of the drills because they may have been cut once before or whatever. But always play with your speed and know what speed works for you. Normally, when you're doing acrylics, you use the medium speed for filing, and you use the slow speed when you're doing around the cuticle, kind of. So we're just going to go across this a few more times because you want to make sure that it's blended. And always make sure I change my sanding bands after every client. I use when I'm practicing, I use them a tad bit more, but you just want to make sure that that nail is blended across, because you don't want that hump. You want the nail to look more natural, more real. So that's why we blend the tip. So we're just going to blend the tip, as you can see. And I'm blending the tip. Okay, so we blend that. You make sure that you dust. Always make sure that you dust your nails to keep the debris off. And voila. I don't know if you can see, but you don't see anything on the tip. And so that is your basic tip blending. That's how I do it. I'm not speaking for other nail techs, because everybody has their own technique of how they do things. I'm just saying that this is how I tip blend. It's easier for me to do it with a drill, but I love doing it with a file. And you just, shape your nail up and you get ready for the acrylic process. This is the ones I use to practice. I do, shape them, and I have a lot of ones. I also have the ones with the fingernail. I try to use these mostly for sculpting, which I'm learning. I'm not a professional at that yet. So if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to comment below. And thank you for watching this video.